alive. But I saw you stab me. Felt death's embrace.
You saw what I wanted you to see. And then you slept the sleep of the dead, of the womb.
And then you emerged standing up?
Be reborn.
To what end?
Do you remember, Altair, what it is the assassin fight for?
Peace. In all things.
Yes, in all things. It is not enough to end the violence one man commits upon another. It refers to peace within as well. You cannot have one without the other.
So it is said.
So it is! But you, my son, have not found...
That is the way.
Manifests in ugly ways. You are arrogant and overconfident.
Were you not the one to say that nothing is true and everything is permitted?
You do not understand the true meaning of the phrase, my child.
Okay,
It does not grant you the freedom to do as you wish. It is a knowledge meant to guide your senses. It expects a wisdom you clearly lack.
Then what is to become of me?
I should kill you for the pain you've brought upon us. Malik thinks it only fair. Your life in exchange for his brother's. But this would be a waste of my time and your talents. You'll see you have been stripped of your possessions. Your rank as well. You are a novice.
Your rank,
Child
your
once
knives,
more, as you
your
were
health
on the day
bar,
you first joined
all
our
gone.
order. I am offering you a chance at redemption. You'll earn your way back into the Brotherhood.
I assume you've something planned.
First, you must prove to me you remember how to be an assassin.
So you'd have me take a life?
No, not yet at least. For now, you're to become a student once again.
There is no need for this.
Others tracked your targets for you, but no more. From today on, you will track them yourself.
If this is what you wish.
It is.
Then tell me what it is that I must do.
We have been betrayed. Someone was assisting Robert de Sable, one of our own. You must find him and bring him here for questioning.
What can you tell me of the traitor?
Ah, but that's just it. I've given you all I will. The rest is up to you.
All right. Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome back to Assassin's Creed, where we've lost our sword, our hidden blade, the ability to counter-kill, throwing knives, tackling ability, ledge catching, crab breaking, balance regaining, dodging, extra throwing knives. You know, I understand if they remove your throwing knives, you don't have any throwing knives. You can't throw it. But because you've been demoted in rank, that doesn't mean you stop knowing how to counter attacks. Like, it's not like he's Samus in Other M and is like, I'm not using missiles because Adam told me not to. But yeah, welcome back to Assassin's Creed, where we've completed the first prologue mission. Altair has screwed up. He has screwed up the Assassin's Code. And I would say, on that note, it's pretty clear that he screwed up. He killed people when he didn't have to. He revealed himself to his enemies, and he placed the Brotherhood in jeopardy. All three things are technically... You could argue, you could debate the first thing. Like, did he really... Like, was the soldier who worked for Robert really innocent? Like, you could argue that maybe he wasn't an innocent, because any soldier working for the for Robert is probably up to no good. But the other two definitely are tenets that were broken.
Safety and peace, Altair.
You're in my way.
Yes, Al-Mualim has asked that I assist you. Remind you how it is we hunt our prey.
I know how it works.
Be that as it may, I have no desire to disobey.
Then be quick.
The Assassin have many tools at their disposal.
Yes, yes. We can eavesdrop, we can pickpocket, or we can use violence to intimidate.
Good, you remember.
So you'd have me walk amongst the others and learn what I can about the traitor?
Yes. Begin by going to the village market. That's where we first spotted the traitor.
You know who it is?
Perhaps.
Then give me a name and let's be done with it.
That's not the way it works. Now go. And remember, begin your search in the village market.
You must learn what you're going to be doing for the rest of the game, because this is how every single mission in this game works. Every single assassination in this game is built on this foundation of listening to people, eavesdropping on people, following people, mugging them. It's been a while. But this is where the more repetitive nature of Assassin's Creed 1 comes from. Is not from the way that you target your assassinations. It's not the combat. It's these side missions that are required in order to do the main mission, which actually makes Assassin's Creed kind of like Saints Row in a way, because the original Saints Row focused so much on making your character do tons and tons of side missions in order to play the main mission. And that's the reason why I make that comparison. Like, these two games are very different in genre and style, but in order to complete the main mission for Assassin's Creed, you have to do the side missions first in order to unlock it. In order to complete the main mission in Saints Row, where is there a bench? It is over there. Do not mind me. I'm just going to sit on this nearby bench. Look how scholarly I am.
I know what I saw. Musoon opened the gate. He let the Templars in.
Then you must tell Al-Mualim.
I can't. Musoon did not act alone. Someone inside the fortress helped him.
What makes you say this?
He exchanges letters with someone inside. The basket weaver carries them for him.
That's no reason to stay silent.
Ah, but the weaver delivered him a letter just before the attack. I suspect it held the order to open the gate.
Then speak to the weaver. He can name Musoon's accomplice.
He's disappeared, hiding for fear of being dragged into this.
Probably inside one of his own baskets.
It seems that he has been contained by the web he attempted to weave when he tried to deceive. I'll stop. So, yeah, it looks like our traitor is multiple in number. Although most likely the leader of this group, whom I do not remember the name of already, probably already knows all of these things. Oh yeah, pickpocketing.
Please, just one. We lost everything in the attack and have no place to store our grain.
I can't right now. I'm busy.
Is this about the letter?
What letter?
The letter we received when I got here.
And now I need to pickpocket this guy's letter in order to find out where the basket weaver
I
is.
see what I can do, but please, I need to be alone right now. Come back later.
As you wish.
Does this guy even have pockets? And then in order to pickpocket him, I have to press and hold B to pickpocket somebody while they're walking. And then he's like, oh my gosh, where did that incredibly important letter find Masun near the cypress trees? Oh yeah, and this is the mugging and threatening side mission. Which, at the very least, unlike Saints Row, these side missions go a lot faster. But
Stand upon the threshold between this world and a new one, a better place.
Excuse
where
me,
all
sir.
might live as equals. But men like Al-Mualim would see this dream destroyed.
no.
I see the way you look at me. Hear the things you say. A traitor. I'm not a traitor. It's Al-Mualim who's betrayed us.
Al-Mualim.
Today's attack was but the first. And more will follow unless you repent. Give up your wicked ways. Rise up against the madman of Masyaf. See through his lies.
Or double down on your wicked ways. It's convenient that these people I need to interrogate, they themselves walk slowly towards secluded locations. But this also means that every time you do this mission, you're going to be like, okay, now I've got to slowly follow this person to a secluded area and then punch them a bunch. Using my big shoulder sway. Like, look at his shoulder sway. He's just like, oh yeah. And then punch.
You made a grave mistake.
Enough! I yield! I yield!
My punches were
Quickly, then.
too much.
I've no interest in your games. Why did you betray us? And who do you serve?
We serve the Templars. You should too. Their cause is just.
We?
Jamal. He told me of their plans. Asked me to open the gate.
You betrayed us. We, who called you brother and kept you safe from harm.
I did what I believed was right. And if you must kill me for it, so be it. I am not afraid to die.
Your fate is not for me to decide. It's Al-Muallim who will judge.
Fast-forwarding memory to a more recent one.
You stand accused of betraying our brotherhood,
All right.
opening the way for our enemies. How do you answer to these charges?
I deny nothing. I'm proud of what I did. My only
I'm the
regret
best traitor.
is that they
Other
failed.
traitors suck.
Offer you a chance to repent, to renounce the evil in your heart.
It is not evil in my heart, but truth. I will not repent.
Then you will die. You did well, Altair, and have earned the right to carry a blade once more.
Freshly bloodied, no less.
What will become of the one who helped him?
It remains to be seen. Some do ill out of ignorance or fear. These men can be saved. Others suffer from corrupted wills, their minds poisoned and twisted. These men must be destroyed. Soon enough, we'll know what sort of man Jamal is.
I've passed your test then. What now?
Oh, my child. We've only just begun. I hold here a list. 9 names adorn it. 9 men who need to die. They are plague bringers, war makers. Their power and influence corrupts the land and ensures the Crusades continue. You will find them. Kill them. In doing so, you'll sow the seeds of peace, both for the region and for yourself. In this way, you might be redeemed.
9 lives in exchange for mine.
A most generous offer, I think.
Plus whoever gets in my way.
Questions?
Only where I need begin.
Very well. Ride for Damas. Seek out the black market merchant named Tamir. Let him be the first to fall. Be sure to visit the city's assassin bureau when you arrive. I'll dispatch a bird to inform the Rafiq of your arrival. Speak with him. You'll find he has much to offer.
If you believe it best.
I do. Besides, you cannot begin your mission without his consent.
What nonsense is this? I don't need his permission. It's a waste of time.
What
It's the price
tomfoolery.
you pay for the mistakes you've made. You answer not only to me, but all the Brotherhood as well now.
So be it.
Take your equipment and go. Prove that you are not yet lost to us.
Alright, now, finally at least got the hidden blade back. Okay, and he's already had his finger removed prior to this. Yep, sword right, hidden blade left, or sorry, hidden blade up. I feel like listening to Almalin's conversation there, knowing how this game ends, like I feel like it's pretty obvious that the Assassins and the Templars are more or less...
Altair, it seems my students do not fully understand what it is to wield a blade.
opposite sides of the
Perhaps you could
same
tell them what you
coin.
know.
Like... Ah, take that. And maybe a little bit of that.
Perfect.
Press X as soon as you're...
The work
Oh
of a master.
yeah.
That, my students, is how we all should fight.
And then every so often, Altair is like, "That's why I'm the best." I'm gonna exit this tutorial
You must be
because
busy. I understand.
all right, let's move on. But yeah, knowing how this game ends, like I feel like it's pretty obvious that Al-Mulin does not necessarily represent who the assassins are in the present day are as a whole. Let's see, where am I going? Oh yeah, okay. I'm riding out to the kingdom, traveling down. Because like if looking at the war that goes on in the present day, the assassins versus the Templars, and that's essentially the whole epic story of Assassin's Creed is that endless war between these two factions. The Templars are presented in such a fashion that they want to, like, you look at the Doctor in the modern day area, and the Doctor said that he wanted to kill anybody who disagreed with him. Like, if you disagreed with him, you're dead. And now at the same time, you look at Al-Mulin, and he's specifically saying, like, if you are of a poisoned mind, if you are of a... I'll take the black horse. Yeah. Oh my, that is a big gallop. That's a lot of gallop there, sir. If you are a poisoned mind, then you would deserve death. Which is interesting in regards to how Al-Mulin mirrors modern day Templar doctors' dialogue. Although, actually, now that I think about it, was that a plot point? Let's see. You know that that your character is an assassin, but I don't think that's been revealed in the game yet. That the Doctor's the Abstergo is an affiliated with the Templars. So I think I might be jumping ahead in regards to that part. But then again, the Assassin's Creed franchise has been around for so very long.
Break their line of sight and try to hide from them.
And it's kind of tricky to kind of like focus your state of mind only on the knowledge that you had gained from this particular iteration without concerning yourself with everything you learned later on. Wow, you can set your own GPS markers. Truly, this is the wave of the future. And now, the very first Eagle Point. Which again it's interesting that to go back to this kind of climbing, especially after going through Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where climbing is definitely very almost automated. It's almost like an automated process. Not that much of an exciting viewpoint. Now, in the kingdom, I think there are actually... Oh my gosh, there are a lot of viewpoints. See, in the kingdom, I don't think there are really any missions. There's just the viewpoints. There are, like, the flags or pennants to collect. Guards to avoid. They're like, you're riding too fast. That kind of riding. That kind of riding won't go around these parts. You need to slow down your ride. Also, crashing into people while riding your horse, never a good idea. People take that offensively. They're like, hey, don't ride all over me. Also, I believe some of these viewpoints are more specifically... Yeah. Oh my gosh. Can't a man just ride his horse nearby this military encampment? Is that too much to ask? And then, see, these guys, they're not of the Assassin's Guild. So they're going to be like, what are you up to? And I'm going to be like, I'm just blending in. Don't mind me. I'm of the scholarly variety. But yeah, it's interesting going back to this where, like, your presence is just generally disliked in many places. Although I suppose Odyssey definitely has a lot of that too. Where, oh, by the way, I'm going to be comparing this to Odyssey a lot because Odyssey is probably the freshest Assassin's Creed game in my mind. Like the last Assassin's Creed game I played and finished before Odyssey was I think actually Assassin's Creed 3 after finishing 4. So I hadn't actually finished 3 yet before I played part 4, and then eventually I went back to finish part 3. So that's why most of my comparisons are going to be towards that rather than, I suppose, like Ezio's adventure. Like, why do... Are these guys really going to... Are these guys going to chase me if I decide that I want to, say, run off and ride to that viewpoint? I mean, I suppose if I'm going to see how far the rules can be stretched, I might as well do it now, towards the beginning of the game. So they're suspicious of me, but because I'm not necessarily doing anything suspicious... Oh my gosh. Excuse me. But because I'm not doing anything necessarily rule-breaking, they're like, okay, he's alright. But if I did, like, crash into somebody, or did something, punched somebody, or if there was a dead body, then they might go automatically hostile. But I'm not going to show every single trip to every single tower. And oh, like I said, if I see a flag, I will pick up a flag. I'm not going to pursue all 100 King Richard flags. because that sounds like a horrible waste of time. But that doesn't mean I'm going to just ignore it. Because, like, for one, I don't actually remember if that actually gets you anything interesting, or if you just do that for an achievement. Achievements having been pretty fresh on the scene at the time. Excuse me, sir. Don't mind me. What are you even guarding there? What is in here that's so important that you need to be just standing around here at all times of the day? Oh my... Oh, and there's a flag up here, too. Alright, but I think now I'm going to still keep hitting up these viewpoints, but I'm not going to bother showing the ride to every single one. So, fast forwarding. Oh, never mind. There are limits to my exploration. I cannot enter that area at this time. I forgot about that. And that's something they got rid of as the series has progressed, is the idea that you can only access certain parts of your memory, which, in a sense, you could say makes more sense, considering the technology that is being used. Ah, damn it! I went the wrong way.
Where is he going?
Because the idea is that you're following the path your ancestor took. But your ancestor might not have been in that location. So the idea that you cannot enter a specific part of the city because your ancestor never traveled that part of the city at the time would make sense, because the idea that you're supposed to synchronize with your ancestor's memories means that you probably can't synchronize with areas that your ancestor wasn't in. Like, you can't just take Altair and have him travel to America, whatever America was at this time, in this era of history, because he wasn't there. Oh my gosh. Sorry, folks. I'm just trying to find my way. And also, that's kind of one of the strange and more confusing things about this game, is you're looking at that mini-map on the radar, and it's like, where... Like, it doesn't really show you anything. It just shows you the icons of what you're trying to access without showing you any, like topography or actual level design. I'll try to hold back, but no promises. Yeah, which is a strange feature for the minimap, and I believe it does get fixed as the series proceeds, but I suppose that's the issue with playing a new game rather than a sequel. It doesn't, like, the original game doesn't really have the time to, may not have the opportunity to refine itself, especially if there aren't enough examples for it to borrow from. And Assassin's Creed 1 was pretty new for its time. But in a second, while I see if I can actually get to this other tower, or if I'm still... Oh, hello. Do I have to get off of my horse to pick this up? No, I don't. Only 97 more to go. Such an amazing use of time. Okay, so I can't actually go that way to pick up that viewpoint. Which I suppose it's fine. Although, well, that's one of the nice things about the fact, like, looking at a game like Odyssey, I want to say Black Flag does this. But my memory of Black Flag and the exploration in that game is not quite what it used to be. In that, like, it gives you that area to explore, and you explore to your heart's content. And what you're limited by is not... well, for Odyssey, you're limited by the levels of the enemies, because it does have a... oh, nope. I cannot go there. It does have a leveling system. It does have, like, a semi... like, oh my gosh. RPG system going on. Whereas Assassin's Creed 1, you're not... Assassin's Creed Black Flag, you're not necessarily limited by the levels of your enemies as much as you're limited by the strength of their boats. They'll never find me. Yeah, by the strength of their boats. So your ocean exploration, more or less, is the one thing that's limited, whereas your capacity on land is generally not that limited. Alright. Oh, nope. There we go. Excuse me, sirs. Don't mind me. Just climbing your tower. Oh, did they find me? And I think they can actually throw rocks at me that would knock me down in my attempts to climb. And I think it really only takes like one rock if I'm lucky. If I'm unlucky, should I say. And then and then Altair just like falls, just keels over from the wall. Alright, let us synchronize. See how many angry people are at the bottom of the tower. Luckily, these other enemy soldiers are not quite astute climbers. Hello, how are you? So I don't think I can go to that one because that was locked off. But I can probably go to that viewpoint. Now my horse was on that side, I think. So I will go collect my horse and ride off. Where on earth did my horse go? Did they shoo my horse away? I will just steal this horse because I cannot find another horse. Luckily, they don't care about horse thieves in this era. All they care about is if you're riding aggressively. They just don't like it when you're riding dirty. Anyway, let us make our way into Damascus. Actually, we're probably going to make one more pit stop with this last viewpoint. We're going to climb at the viewpoint, then enter in Damascus, so that we could essentially go through the sequence of assassination missions proper. And you know, I've got to say that the environments still look pretty good. But then again, I suppose those are the things that are generally going to function, age the best. Like finer movements, animations, those are usually the things that age the worst. Although so far, and I think the thing that really ages the worst is the thing that was odd back in the day. And that's the fact that Altair basically looks like Desmond Miles. And part of me thinks like they were aiming for like a quantum leap aspect to it. How Scott Bakula is able to jump into other people's bodies, and whenever he looks into a mirror, I think he sees who the person he actually is. But when you're looking at him on screen, you're just seeing him dressed as that person. So where did I park my horse? Do they care about jogging? Are people allowed to have a light jog in this era? See, that's the problem. Is they're so strict around these parts. Nobody's even allowed a light cardio. Alright, another King Richard. Also, I'm pretty much almost there anyway, so I might as well just sprint the rest of the way. Do they care if I'm sprinting at a distance from them? I don't think they care. Aw, yeah. Who even needs a horse anyway? When you could, when you got sick moves like that. Although it's interesting to be playing a game in which there's no stamina meter to your run. Like stamina meters have.
Use sharp turns or climb over buildings to break your pursuer's line of sight.
Go in like a serpentine motion. Like, they won't be able to zig if you zag. Ah, my horse. If I accidentally ride towards them, they'll all drop their pots. It'll be madness. Schizophrenia in reverse. And then we got a nice little cinematic introing us to the city of Damascus.
God favors us, old man. Help! I need help! Please, anyone! I'll pay for your
Showed up into town, immediately started murdering. Oh yeah, I don't have my I don't have my counterattack yet. Which is highly unfortunate.
Last of them? I hope so. Still, best not to take any chances. I'll hurry home. Don't think I'll leave it again anytime soon, either. You've done me a kindness, young man. Be assured, I won't forget it.
Why do I feel like I've heard that message like a billion times? Oh yeah, and this causes these guys to appear. and they have their automatic routes. And because I'm blended in with the scholars, this is essentially how I get into the city. Otherwise, I'm more or less locked out of Damascus. Yeah, it seems as though these people don't like the fact that, they're a little bit concerned by the fact that there's all these dead bodies left behind me. Luckily, I'm a pious scholar, so I don't need to worry about no guards, whose hands are permanently on the hilts of their swords, which implies that they're ready to murder anybody who goes through the gates at any time.
Could I interest you in this? No? Well, there's more. Much more. We are the three children of God.
Oh, hello. Should I be helping out this citizen? Yeah, I guess I'll help out this concerned citizen. Yeah, what did you do when you showed up in her town? Oh, well, I showed up at your front door. And then I immediately... got killed by guards. And then I immediately got killed by several guards. No, I showed up your gates, Assassin's Guild leader, killed some people outside your city, killed some guards inside your city, really stirred up some trouble. But let us go to this...
Such a shame.
Oh my! Such a shame that these poor young guards, they had so many years of harassing citizens and stealing from the poor left in them. And here comes the tricky part of this game. Being like, okay, how do I climb up to this point? There we go. I want to say Assassin's Creed 2 has like a greater variety of buildings where it's like, okay, how do I climb this? And also there are puzzles related to those buildings too, so... And now you get the really sweet camera spin that every eagle viewpoint in this game really builds itself off of. Although, I don't remember, did they stop doing the white flash after the eagle view, or did they just kind of cut back to the individual? And then he jumped to his death. And his adventure came to an end.
To enter a fist fight, guards will not interfere.
Interesting, though, there is no repercussions for jumping to your death. It just loads a checkpoint. But I believe this is going to be where we're going to stop for the night. Next time we show up, we're going to be roaming around the city, unlocking viewpoints, saving citizens, pickpocketing folk, doing a whole bunch of side missions. For now, though, we got some more Quantum of Solace coming up tomorrow. We got something new Saturday, Sunday, Red Dead Redemption 2 Monday, Tuesday. Got any suggestions for something to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and have yourselves a good night.